Hello, this is Friendly Cat. We're doing a HOI4 achievement run guide and overview for 30 Minutes of Hell, which is, as a 1939 start, is Poland inflict more than 1.8 million casualties on Germany. This is a moderate difficult achievement, and we're going to go 2-for-1 today. We're going to do one run where we prioritize aircraft with the lower priority on support anti-air. That's the first run we're starting with, and then we'll also do a second run where we do support anti-air without any aircraft at all to compare, see which works for you and how the different outcomes are. Our prioritization to start off with is some support artillery in the factories while we research the aircraft tech, particularly armor plating, so our aircraft are not shot down. We're going to be doing some 18 width solid infantry. I try to avoid the garbage or low-tech infantry in this type of scenario. We'll also dupe out the template, and call it a no-equip template so that we can preserve manpower as we lose the states in the initial rush. As you can see, we're going to be duping out and keeping 42 divisions. 42 divisions will form our defense. That's plenty of divisions to defend. The other 22 will eventually find their way into a lower division to help release some of their equipment, and then we'll bring them up to the infantry no weapons division and dupe them out so that they can hold manpower. And later on, we will delete those 22 divisions currently in that colored red at the moment. We'll be using the defend the southwest part of Poland, where we'll release a few puppets and then release land back to Lithuania, form a little donut, and defend the outside. So we've got a place in the center for folks to recover their organization. All in all, not too bad. The initial generals don't matter too much, because we're going to be, in this part of the run, we're going to replace them with our own generals and taking the military spirit to get a +1 attack 50% of the time when we level up. And here we are duping out those middle 22 into the no infantry template so they can start sucking up manpower. We're going to take as much manpower as we can while we've got it. And here we are releasing the puppets of Belarus and Ukraine. We'll also release Czechoslovakia, and later on we'll release Lithuania, or actually return Lithuania's land to them. As you move your little divisions around, the 42 divisions that you plan to keep, focus on the northeast corner and the northwest corner. As we here take our first promotion, Poland takes level 2 generals. I would have preferred to have a level 1 for a higher attack. With the war starting, we're going to go into war economy, extensive conscription, and free trade. And we're just about running ourselves out of political power since we've also taken the defense military advisor and infantry improvement. Don't forget to lend-lease, because so many countries are already fearful of Germany. They will lend-lease without you needing to improve relations with them. So continue to check throughout the run. There's a lot of countries that are fearful of Germany and will give you lend-lease through the run. And here I am remembering to release Lithuania's land to them. And just like that, we've got our little area set up. We've got our defensive area. We're researching, and we're ready to take our first professional officer corps of the Army Command Spirit for additional command power, but also additional army experience. After we finish the castle, this part is kind of important. We want to start down to prepare for the inevitable, and then the 2 focuses under that, which grant us both additional civilian factories and military factories. After you complete those 4, it really doesn't matter so much what you take, but I would definitely prioritize taking those in order so that we can build additional military factories during this run. We've now lost all of our land, so let's delete those 22 factories and return, the 22 divisions, and return that manpower to the pool. Strikes, no big deal. Take the bottom decision. That's the one, even though it's pretty expensive in political power, it has the highest chance of a good outcome. And now we've just got green bubbles. You do need to monitor where your divisions are, continue to monitor, and try to keep at least every combat with 1 division in reserve with a fair amount of organization. With our operative now available. Let's start to put them out. These are actually more helpful than one might think. They reduce the planning bonus of armies that attack from that direction, which means our armies will take less damage. By October, you should be settling down a little bit. In this run, we're trying to send up some aircraft to try to help out, and they're not doing all that much. We're taking quite a bit of cast damage, but our kill ratio is not too bad at this point. We're looking at about 18,000 versus 111,000 killed, so just under 9 to 1. I think that's not too bad. But do stay focused. This is maybe the most hardest or the challenging part of the run. Just keeping your eye, and moving divisions and monitoring. When they sit in that donut hole and they run up to, say, 15, 20, 25 org, put them back into combat. And here it is, our fighter. This is the fighter that we hope will own the skies. Armor plating, self-sealing fuel tanks, and we can send them out and defend our area. Superior firepower is by far and away the best doctrine in this type of scenario when you're cycling troops in and out. Grand battle plan doesn't do all that much when you're cycling troops. When your troops can just sit there, they do well, but when they cycle, superior firepower is better. Here we are with one division away. We're on the threshold of destruction. Yeah, I probably should have taken organizational expert earlier, or the plus reinforced rate. We barely get a division to save us. France, okay, they're probably not using the best tactic here. There's a little bit of a gap, just this tiny opening into France, so I think that they might not be able to hold all that long. Maybe we could do better by helping them out. Scavenger, very helpful. Very helpful. Very similar to the Ethiopia runs when playing as Ethiopia. Scavenger works really well when you're doing encirclements. It also works really well when you're kind of taking defensive attacks. We're just attacking into you and you're maybe a 6 to 7 or more kill ratio. Alright, it's March 1940. Time to add anti-air. Maybe this was a little bit late. Maybe we could have added this earlier. But for this run, because we prioritized air power, we just didn't have that much anti-air to add. Alright. Now we're starting to think about offense. Let's plan for our tank. Standard tank template, because we're using infantry in this case, all we want is a lot of armor and the speed, of course, at the minimum 4 kilometers per hour. This is going to be pretty inexpensive, and it's going to be very helpful when we push back out against Germany and the other Axis powers. Alright, we're also going to add in some maintenance company to improve the scavenging or the equipment recovery, even though we don't have the support equipment to sustain it. And how are the aircraft doing? Oh, not so well. Okay, this plan does not seem to work out very well. The anti-air are shooting down things, but our aircraft, our fighters, they shot down one enemy fighter, they lost a few. We only have 6 up in the air, so maybe the strategy wasn't the best. Well, it's July 4th, time for some independence of Poland, and let's expand out. We're going to push out pretty easily. We've been defending pretty well along the way. Our 42 fine divisions or strong divisions have done very well for us. So let's expand out and let's pick up our first little pocket. No problem. And let's go into Warsaw. Warsaw is a great place to go into because they will give us additional factories. As we expand out, our manpower improves. Here we are running again about 9 to 1 kill to 1 ratio into July. And we're going to add in a tank for some assault infantry. So our first assault infantry in July 1940. We're well on our way to winning this, but the assault tanks will help us just a little bit more. Alright, not too bad. Our fighters still having a hard time. Air is red everywhere. We've got several factories on fighters. I was really hoping this would work out better than it actually is, but it's good to try. It's good to try new things and see how it goes. We've got a nice pocket because we've got our puppet to the east, and Lithuania is not friendly to the Germans. It's not particularly hard to pocket around them and make a big pocket that you can kill a lot, or I should say kill or capture a lot of Germans, which will increase their casualty. We're also going to start thinking about defensive units. A defensive division would be a good 12 width, so we're going to start to release those out to help hold the lines when we don't need as much help in behind the lines. Continue to head east, continue to close your pockets, while also looking at, it looks like Soviet Union wants to justify on us. I'm going to double check my puppets. Yeah, sure enough, they are justifying directly on me. That means eventually I will need to guard my northeast corner, what was the former border of Lithuania. We'll also add support artillery to those defensive divisions, and they'll hit very hard, a lot harder than one might think, with that support artillery and superior firepower. Continue to upgrade your divisions, continue to move out. We've just about got it. It's just about near the end. Let's continue to fight. As the Soviet Union attacks us, you may notice that I've got those tank divisions on the border of the Soviet Union. On one hand, that's kind of a bad play. That's an overkill for a defense, but I really don't want the Russians to walk into Warsaw. At this point, I'm not worrying about the Axis powers pushing in. The last thing I want to do is be focusing on an attack into Western Germany or Eastern Germany, so toward the west, and find myself with the Russians in Warsaw. That'd be hard to recover. Oh, I think we're going to take Poznan. There's been a lot of bloody fighting over that in this run, and I'm really happy to see us finally pick that up. Alright, we're winding down, taking the last little pocket, and with that we will have completed this run. Come on, let's just take just a few more troops. We can do it. Now, well, I hope you enjoyed this run. I have a lot of fun playing with it. It's a good practice for playing as Ethiopia. It's a relatively quick run. It's not one of the most difficult runs. As mentioned at the beginning, this is a 2-for-1, so in a moment we're going to go into the second run, which is a priority on anti-air instead of aircraft, so you can compare. Well, I really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this too. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave below, or suggestions, any different achievements you'd like to see me complete. Hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.
Lately I've been staring at the stars above, hoping for a miracle to light up my way. I was never lonely until you came along. Now I found a better way to get me through the day. Dance the night away to the break of day and let go of the tension. Dance, come listen to me, see the palm trees sway tonight. Let's sorrow and the things that I've been through. Autumn leaves and river freeze, a place beyond the pines. But now I found a better way to get me through the day. Dance the night away to the break of day and let go of the tension. Dance, come whatever may. See the palm trees sway tonight. Let's live like there's a chance that we'll make it through. Only
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
the voice of freedom, General MacArthur speaking. People of the Philippines, I have returned. By the grace of Almighty God, our forces stand again on Philippine soil, soil consecrated in the blood of our two people. We have come dedicated and committed to the task of destroying every vestige of enemy control over your daily lives and of restoring upon a foundation of indestructible strength the liberties of your people. At my side is your president, Sergio Osmeña, worthy successor of that great patriot, Manuel Quezon, with members of his cabinet. The seat of your government is now, therefore, firmly reestablished on Philippine soil. The hour of your redemption is here. Your patriots have demonstrated an unswerving and resolute devotion to the principles of freedom that challenges the best that is written on the pages of human history. I now call upon your supreme effort that the enemy may know from the temper of an aroused and outraged people within that he has a force there to contend with no less violent than is the force committed from without. Rally to me. Let the indomitable spirit of Bataan and Corregidor lead on. As the lines of battle roll forward to bring you within the zone of operations, rise and strike. Strike at every favorable opportunity. For your homes and hearths, strike. For future generations of your sons and daughters, strike. In the name of your sacred dead, strike. Let no heart be faint. Let every arm be steeled. The guidance of divine God points the way. Follow in his name to the holy grail of righteous victory.